This is a demonstration video for the Greek chicken salad pita pockets and lemonade. Cooking principles. 1. Poultry, chicken cookery. Heat destroys harmful organisms. Cooking chicken to an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 75 degrees Celsius is not merely a suggestion, it is an issue of food safety, as undercooked chicken may have salmonella and bacteria. Making sure that your chicken reaches the proper internal temperature is vital to avoid this foodborne illness. Heat is one of the only ways to destroy this bacteria, making it safe for us to eat. Heat can coagulate, toughen meat proteins. You might notice when cooking meat, the meat shrinks from the original size that you put in the pan. As proteins and muscle fibers and its connective tissues coagulate, meat juices are squeezed out of the muscle cells. Heating of the meat will also cause the fat to melt, and this might often collect into our skillet today. It is important that you use a nice medium temperature to help control the shrinkage, but also not overcook the meat, causing the protein to be too tough and chewy to consume. Age of bird affects cooking method. The age of the bird is the major factor affecting tenderness. Young birds should be more tender, milder in flavor than mature ones. Dry heat cooking methods do not increase tenderness. Older, more mature birds tend to have really tough muscle and connective tissues, and it needs to be softened in order to become tender. Older birds are more suitable for cooking by moist heat methods. That means they're cooked in a liquid. Roasting is a dry heat method, cooking the whole bird on a rack in an uncovered shallow pan. Broiling is a direct heat method of cooking either poultry pieces, halves, or quarters. Because the upper surface of the meat is subjected to intense drying while the lower surface keeps moist. Rotisserie is a direct heat method when whole birds are placed on a metal spit and rotated over a heat method such as an oven element or a barbecue. Barbecuing is a direct heat method that is similar to broiling, except for the heat source is below the meat instead. Pan frying is a direct heat method suitable for small pieces or pieces containing more fat, such as chicken thighs or chicken legs. And finally, deep frying, the last of the direct heat methods, popular for cooking small birds in pieces that are usually dipped in batter first and then fried in hot oil. Stewing is one of the moist heat methods that is popular with older, more mature birds. It tenderizes the meat by stewing or simmering in a liquid. Liquid is never boiling, merely simmering, occasionally showing bubbles rising to the surface. Fricassee is a stew-like dish made with white or pale fleshed meats. Chicken usually is cut into fours for frying and then stewed under water until just tender, and then usually the mixture is added with heavy cream or milk. Braising is a moist heat method when poultry pieces are started in fat by a similar way of frying. They're browned slightly, and then a small amount of water is added to the pan, and the meat is cooked covered under the surface element in an oven. And finally, the last of the moist heat cooking methods is pressure cooking. This is a much faster way of tenderizing old, mature birds by moist heat. Cooking principle number 2, preventing cross-contamination. Cutting boards are an easy place for cross-contamination to occur. It is recommended that you have at least 2 different cutting boards, one in the kitchen. We have one that you can use for raw fruits and vegetables on, and we have one that you can use for raw meat. Making sure you use the right board for the right job is essential. That way we don't accidentally put bacteria that could be harmful onto our fruits and veggies, for they will never be cooked at as high temperature as meat does. Also, washing your hands after every time you either touch raw meat or handle it. That way you don't accidentally transfer the bacteria to any other food items or pieces of equipment. Cooking principle number 3, preventing contracting salmonella poisoning. Salmonella infection is the most common bacterial disease that affects the intestinal tract. Salmonella bacteria typically lives in animals such as chickens and also can be found in human intestines. They are often shed through feces. Humans become infected with this bacteria frequently through contaminated water or food, like eating undercooked poultry. Typically, people with salmonella infection have no symptoms. However, others may develop diarrhea, fever, abdominal cramping that leads to vomiting within 8 to 72 hours. Thankfully, this bacteria is easily destroyed when we cook food. We need to cook food so the temperature reaches at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 70 degrees Celsius. This will kill off the bacteria, making all food safe for us to eat. Nutrition. Greek chicken salad pita pockets. Pita pockets, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are responsible for supplying the body with energy, sparing protein, and assisting the utilization of fats. Chicken, protein, fat, selenium, phosphorus, zinc, and vitamin B.
Protein. It is essential for building muscle, repairing all types of body tissue, regulating body processes, forming antibodies to fight infection, and supplying your body with energy. Fat. Fat helps protect your body and insulate body parts such as major organs, supplies energy to your whole body, transports fat-soluble vitamins such as A, D, E, and K, and supplies your body with essential fatty acids needed for functioning. Selenium, which is an essential trace mineral that supports many bodily processes. It can help improve cognitive functions, immune system function, thyroid hormone metabolism, and fertility. Phosphorus. The main function of phosphorus is the formation of bones and teeth. It is also needed for the body to make protein for growth, maintenance, and the repair of cell and tissues. Zinc. Zinc is a nutrient found throughout your body. It helps your immune system and metabolism function. Zinc is also important in wound healing and your sense of taste and smell. B vitamins help the body turn carbohydrates into energy, help with normal growth and development of the body, maintain good appetite and normal digestion, and is essential for the proper functioning of your nervous system.
Vegetables, vitamin C, and vitamin K.
Vitamin C. It is essential for growth, development, and repair of the body tissues. It is also needed for the absorption of iron, proper functioning of the immune system, wound healing, and the maintenance of cartilage, bones, and teeth. Vitamin K. Vitamin K refers to a group of fat-soluble vitamins that play a role in blood clotting, bone metabolism, and regulating of blood calcium levels.
Yogurt sauce, calcium, protein, and probiotics.
Calcium is responsible for forming strong bones and teeth and maintaining and repairing the skeleton, maintaining muscle, tone, normal heartbeat, and healthy nerve functions, and aiding normal blood clotting.
Although probiotics are not a nutrient, probiotics are a combination of live beneficial bacteria and/or yeasts that live naturally within your body. The main job of probiotics or good bacteria is to maintain a healthy balance in your body, especially your gut bacteria. It's been known to help your body digest food, keep bad bacteria from getting out of control and making you sick, help create vitamins, help support cells that are lining your gut to prevent bad bacteria that you may have consumed from entering your blood, and the breakdown and absorption of medications. Lemonade. Lemons, vitamin C. Water. Water is the most single important item in a dietary intake. The need for it in your body is only second next to oxygen. A person can live weeks without food, but death results within a few days when water is not available. About 70% of the body mass is water. It's necessary for all body cells to provide the medium for essential chemical processes, for the transportation of oxygen and nutrients in the cells, for the absorption of water-soluble vitamins. It helps regulate body temperature, serves as lubricant, and aids in digestion, and for the transportation of waste products for elimination. Ingredients: Greek chicken salad pita pockets, 400 grams of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. That is about 4 thighs or 1 thigh per person. Chicken thighs are a favorite cut of dark meat poultry due to their flavor and tenderness. Dark meat tends to contain a little bit more tendons, and they are considered a tougher cut. They can become more tender and juicier when properly cooked. They boast more flavor than a white meat, so they are perfect for our protein filling of our sandwich today. 15 milliliters of oil. Today we're using a canola oil to help grease our pan. It will add a little bit of fat to our mixture as well. Canola oil is really good because it's suitable to go to a slightly higher temperature without affecting its flavor or burning. Cooking chicken in fat is a good way to keep the tenderness, especially if you do not know the age of your bird. 1 garlic clove. Garlic is an easy way of adding a lot of flavor for such a little amount. It is a member of the lily family, and it's closely related to both leeks, onions, shallots, and chives. Half a medium onion. Today we're using a yellow onion. We're going to cook this up with our chicken and caramelize it in the pan so they sweeten up. Onions are known to have a great source of vitamin C, vitamin B6, and manganese. Onions also contain antioxidant properties that help the stomach and gastrointestinal tract. 1 Roma tomato. Roma tomatoes are also known as Italian or plum tomatoes. They generally have a thicker fruit wall and fewer seeds, which are perfect for eating raw, like today in our sandwich filling. They are packed full of vitamin C and other nutrients. Half an English cucumber. English cucumbers are also hothouse cucumbers because they're often grown in greenhouses. They are much sweeter than a standard cucumber, and they're often seedless cucumbers that don't need to be peeled to be eaten. They're perfect for our filling today. Cucumbers don't have a lot of nutrition in them, but they're high in vitamin K and water and fiber. 2 pita breads. Pita breads are a flatbread that are from the Mediterranean and the Middle East and surrounding areas. It is a versatile flatbread that is soft and slightly chewy, often features a pocket on the inside, which is a result of baking the bread in a hot oven. Now for the ingredients for the sauce. 30 milliliters of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is made by slowly blending oil into a seasoned vinegar and egg mixture. The egg acts as an emulsifier so that the vinegar and the oil do not separate. 175 ml of plain yogurt. Yogurt is a dairy product made by fermenting milk with a yogurt culture. It provides protein and calcium, and it contains probiotics that enhance healthy gut bacteria that is good for digestion. Today, it'll be one of the main ingredients in the sauce, providing the moisture for our sandwich. 5 milliliters of oregano. This aromatic herb will add a peppery flavor to our sauce today. Oregano means joy of the mountains, as it's derived from the Greek words oris, which means mountains, and ganos, which means joy. This may explain why oregano is such a popular herb in Greek cuisine, and why it's one of the flavors in our Greek-inspired sandwich today. 5 milliliters of dill. It is one of the herbs that we're adding as flavor to our sauce today. You could use dried dill or fresh dill in this recipe depending on what's in season. Dill is very popular in Eastern European and Nordic cuisine. It has a little bit of a fresh, grassy, almost anise licorice taste flavor to it, which gives a little bit of a zest to our sauce today. 1 milliliter of salt. Salt enhances flavors of anything that's found within the dish it's added to. Today, the salt will help bring forth the flavors of all our spices and herbs being put into the sauce, such as our oregano, our dill, our lemon juice, our garlic, and our hot sauce today. 15 milliliters of lemon juice. Lemon juice is another flavor found within our sauce today. Lemons are commonly used in Mediterranean cooking. They provide an acidic taste that will help also bring out the zip and tang of our yogurt. 1 clove of garlic. Garlic is also added to our sauce as one of its flavors today. It is said that Greek cooking is not truly Greek unless it contains oregano, lemon, and garlic. A dash of hot pepper sauce. Hot pepper sauce will add a little bit of flavor but also heat to our sauce today for our Greek chicken pita pockets. Hot pepper sauce is actually made from 3 simple ingredients: peppers, salt, and vinegar that have been blended together to form a mash that has been stored in white oak barrels for 3 years. As it matures, it creates a more complex and intense flavor, and the heat develops slowly over that time as well. And now for the ingredients for the lemonade. 125 milliliters of boiling water. We need to have hot boiling water in order to dissolve the sugar today. Without it, the sugar crystals will remain solid and our lemonade will be more gritty in texture than a nice, smooth, drinkable drink. 125 milliliters of sugar. Sugar will add sweetness to our lemonade today, helping balance out the flavors of the tart lemon. Today, you'll be creating a simple syrup using sugar. Simple syrup is a combination of equal parts water to equal parts sugar. 2 lemons. Lemons will be the main flavor of our lemonade today, as well as will provide some added color, causing it to turn a lovely shade of yellow. Lemons are known to have a tart but sometimes sweet flavor, and they're chock full of vitamin C. 750 milliliters cold water. Cold water can only be added after the sugar has been dissolved by the boiling water. Water is super hydrating, which makes this a lovely drink to have on a hot summer day. 7 ice cubes. We need ice cubes to help bring down the temperature of our lemonade today. Without it, it will still be at a lukewarm temperature, for tap water stays at a normal temperature of 7 degrees. This is the final look at all the ingredients for the Greek chicken salad pita pockets and the lemonade.
Equipment. For this recipe, you will need measuring equipment, including liquid, dry, and small measures, metal spatula, custard cups, a medium bowl, 2 cutting boards, 2 chef's knives, garlic press, skillet,
2 wooden spoons, a metal spoon, a metal fork, bread knife, dinner plate, a kettle, pitcher, and finally, juice reamer. Table setting. For the Greek chicken salad pita pockets and lemonade, you will need a placemat, a luncheon plate, a fork, a napkin, and a water glass. Method. Starting with the Greek chicken salad pita pockets. Practice Bichette before you start your lab. Books away, aprons on. Roll back your sleeves, tie back up your hair or take off your hats. Stack your chairs, wash your hands, get out your equipment and your towels. Step 1. Mince, finely chop 2 garlic cloves. Chop onion. There is 2 ways you can chop the garlic. 1, you can use a garlic press, or you can use your chef's knife. I put my knife on its side, and then using the palm of my hand, I press down on the garlic cloves until I hear a crack sound. That means the skin has given way. This makes it much easier to peel the garlic, and then I'm less likely to have any of the garlic skin behind. Then I'm going to chop off any hard ends and discard them. Usually it's the end where the root grows out. Then using my knife, I'm going to slowly slice across the garlic bulb and then gather it into a pile and slowly using my rock and chop motion, rock back and forth along the garlic until it becomes minced pieces. Now minced pieces usually mean they're half a centimeter smaller in length. Afterwards, I'm going to gather a custard cup and put all my minced garlic into it. And then using a fork, you see I divide the garlic equally into 2. That's because half the garlic is going to be used in the chicken and half the garlic is going to be used in the sauce. And you don't want to accidentally put all the garlic into one or the other. Next, let's chop the onion. We're going to use half an onion, which is great because it gives us a flat surface to keep it from rolling around. But when you cut your onion in half, make sure it still has some of the root end, so that way it keeps all the layers together. Peel off the onion skin, make sure again the roots stay on, and then using your chef's knife, put slices into the onion. Make sure they're nice and even. They should be about 1.5 centimeters apart. Then cut perpendicular across the slices until you have nice square pieces. These are rather large, not a small dice. Step 2. In a medium bowl, mix together all 8 sauce ingredients: mayonnaise, plain yogurt, oregano, dill, salt, lemon juice, half of the minced garlic, and hot pepper sauce. Cover and chill. Refrigerate until needed. Now, if you're choosing to use fresh dill, you will want to chop that first before you get all the sauce ingredients ready. If you're using dried dill, you don't have to do this step. But all you have to do is put the dill down on a cutting board and using your chef's knife, do that lovely rock and chop motion back and forth until it's all into small pieces. With dill, you can chop both the stem and the leaf. All parts of the weed is edible. Put it into a custard cup and keep off to the side while you measure out all the rest of the sauce ingredients. Now what we want to do is to create a sauce that has a chance to sort of marinate and settle a little bit, letting all the flavors really come forth and blend. It needs time to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by measuring the mayonnaise, then putting in our plain yogurt, and then all the other spices: the oregano, the dill, the salt, the lemon juice, the garlic, and the hot pepper sauce. Give it a good stir, and then let's cover it with some saran wrap, and make sure you label it with your unit name so that way we know whose is whose in the fridge. Pop it into the fridge to chill, and make sure you don't pull it out until you're pretty much ready to eat. Step 3. Cut chicken into 1 centimeter strips. First, we're going to get the other cutting board that's used for raw meats. Make sure you do not use the same one for vegetables and meats because we still have to cut the cucumber and tomato later. Put the chicken down and you will have to touch it with your hand. But remember, we will make sure we wash our hands after handling raw meat, so that way again we avoid cross-contaminating our other ingredients. Hold the chicken firmly and use your chef's knife to slowly chop across the length of the chicken thigh. It's really important you get nice long 1 cm strips. Remember, protein will shrink when cooking, so they won't be this long in the end, but we do want them not too wide so the bite is too big when you're eating your sandwich. Make sure afterwards you put your cutting board and your knife to the side, well away from anyone else using it. Again, we want to avoid cross-contamination. Step 4. In a skillet, heat oil over medium heat. Cook chicken, onions, and remaining garlic until chicken is no longer pink inside and out. Let's start by adding the oil to the pan and turning it up to medium heat. Make sure the oil coats the pan generously. You might need to give it a stir with a wooden spoon. Make sure you do not add the chicken until the pan is very hot. If you add it too early, the chicken will stick to the bottom of the pan, making it really hard to toss around. But if your temperature is at the right heat, the chicken will not stick and it will be easy to slide and glide along the pan surface. The chicken will slowly go from a pink color that's slightly transparent to a very solid white color. With dark meat, often students have a tough time telling if it's cooked or not. One suggestion is to look at the juices that are coming out of the chicken. Chicken juices should run clear when they are cooked, so if they still look pink, it's not done. Also, at the very end, when I think it is done, I grab a piece that is thick with my wooden spoon, and using a fork, I'll slowly slide it in half and check the inside. Again, it should be that solid white color as best as it can be. It should not show that transparent pink tone. Also, make sure your onions have been cooked well and they have had a chance to caramelize in the pan. Step 5. On a dinner plate, warm pita breads in the microwave for 10 seconds. Now, pita breads out of the package look very flat, but pita breads naturally have a hollow center in the middle because when they're cooked originally in their very hot oven that's almost 450 degrees Fahrenheit to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, the water in the dough quickly turns into steam and puffs up the dough, creating the pocket in the middle. We need to make sure that pocket inflates, so we'll put them on a plate in the microwave for 10 seconds. This will make it much easier for us to create the pocket in the middle as we open the pitas. Step 6. Cut pita breads in half. Open pita breads to make pita pockets. Remember to place your pita breads on a cutting board that was not handled with raw meat, and make sure you use your bread knife to gently glide through the pita bread. Then, being very careful not to tear the bread, slowly use your thumbs to pull apart the pocket. Be gentle, and if you do notice some slight tearing, just again go slow. Make sure you have a chance to open the pocket in both sides of the pita bread and put them off to the side. Repeat with the other pita bread. Step 7. Chop tomato and cucumber into small cubes. Add to the chilled yogurt mixture. Let's start with the cucumber. Now we need to make sure we have a nice flat surface so the cucumber doesn't roll around as we're trying to cut it. I first take my chef's knife and cut off the end and then slice the cucumber in half. That way I have a nice flat surface to work with. Then cut each half lengthwise into 2. Then using your chef's knife, rock and chop and go across the length perpendicular until you have nice cubed pieces. They should be no bigger than the onion that you had chopped earlier. Put them on a plate off to the side, and let's do the tomato. Then, with the tomato, we want to use the bread knife. A tomato is too soft, and a bread knife will make sure that you do not slip on the surface of the skin, causing you to injure your hand. Again, it's too round and it will roll around as we're cutting, so let's cut it in half to give us a nice flat surface to work with. Then slice long strips along the length of the tomato and cut across it. Let's double check that our tomato is the same width and size as our cucumber. We want to make sure everything is uniform so that when you get a nice bite, you can get all the flavors at once and not just one piece of tomato or cucumber. Again, put on a plate off to the side. Then grab your sauce out from the fridge. Make make sure it's yours. Double check the writing that you put on the saran wrap. So here's my demonstration one. And then I'm going to just pop the cucumber and tomato right into the sauce and give it a quick stir to coat it. We are ready now to serve up, so we are done putting this bowl into the fridge. Step 8. Evenly divide hot chicken mixture into each pocket. It's important that every group member gets an equal share of the chicken, so make sure you do divide it equally. Just slide it into the bottom of the pita pocket and be gentle that you do not tear any further the bread if you did have a small rip. Step 9. Top with the tomato, cucumber, yogurt mixture. When dividing the yogurt mixture, make sure you start with the large pieces of vegetables first and divide them all out amongst the pockets. There may be more sauce left over than what you need. You don't want to make the pita pockets too moist, for the sauce will soak through the bread, making it soggy. You want enough moisture in there so that it's palatable and not dry, but again, not to soak right through the bread. Step 10. Serve immediately. Again, the longer you wait to eat, the more likely the mixture will soak through the pita bread, so make sure you eat right away. If your group mates have not made the lemonade in time, make sure you do not put the mixture into the pita pockets until you're ready to eat. This recipe serves 4 or a half pita pocket per person. And now for the method for the lemonade. Step 1. Fill kettle 1/3 full of cold water. Bring to a boil, measure out 125 milliliters and pour into a large pitcher. When you place the kettle on the stovetop, make sure you use the element that fits the size of your kettle. The kettle will take quite a long time to boil. Often it will take about 5 or 10 minutes depending on how much water you put in it. So make sure you do this at the very start of your lab if possible. And when we measure out the hot liquid, we'll use a Pyrex liquid measure. Pyrex is really good for taking extreme hot heat after being at room temperature without causing the glass to break or crack or shatter. Step 2. Add sugar and stir to dissolve. What's really important to look for is that the sugar crystals have completely dissolved. We need to make sure this has happened. If you add the cold water too fast, the sugar crystals will remain. So when you're stirring the liquid, you will notice at the beginning it will be a very cloudy liquid, and it should turn as clear as the original water itself. We are making a simple syrup, and this will help sweeten our lemonade and combat against the tartness of the lemon. Step 3. Cut lemons crosswise. Squeeze out juice using a juice reamer. Remove any seeds. Make sure you're using a cutting board and a knife that has not come in contact with raw meat, and that everything is being handled safely. Use your chef's knife to cut the lemons in half so that you see a lovely yellow circular segment. Using a juice reamer, slowly twist each half of the lemon until all the juice has come out. You might notice several seeds also pop out. Don't worry about that. When we go to pour out the juice, my tip for you is to put a fork at the part of the spout to collect all the seeds as the juice is pouring out. And if one manages to slip into the liquid measure, you can always use your fork to fish it out. Your lemon juice should measure approximately 125 milliliters. Again, lemonade is made with equal parts sugar, equal parts lemon to 4 parts water. Step 4. Add lemon juice to sugar, water mixture and stir well. As we pour in our lemon juice, our lemonade will slowly take on the yellow appearance of the lemons. Give it a quick stir so that it's evenly well mixed. Step 5. Stir in 750 milliliters of cold water. Make sure you run the tap for quite a while to get the coldest water possible, and that way we make sure we're not using water that's been sitting in the pipes. Slowly add it to your pitcher and give it a good stir. Step 6. Add ice cubes just before serving. The ice cubes will help bring your lemonade down to a lower temperature from 7 degrees to hopefully something around 4 or 3 degrees. You want to have a nice chilled lemonade because it's more complementary to your hot chicken salad pita pockets. Make sure you pour it out into 4 different water glasses, making sure every member in the unit gets an equal share. Serve with your Greek chicken salad pita pockets. Cheers! The yield for this recipe serves 4. Test for doneness. Greek chicken salad pita pockets. 1. When porked with a fork, chicken juices are clear, not pink. 2. When cut open, chicken has no traces of pink inside and out. Lemonade. 1. Sugar is dissolved. Standards. 1. Chicken is fully cooked, cut up into even-sized pieces. When I look at your chicken, I should see a solid white color. I should see no traces of any kind of pink whatsoever. All your pieces look like they're about bite size and easy to eat in a sandwich mixed with other ingredients. 2. Onions are soft and transparent. When I look at your onions, I can see they had enough time cooking in the skillet so that they had a chance to caramelize and bring those sugars forward. That will make a nicer flavor in your sandwich. 3. Filling ingredients are evenly diced in the appropriate bite-sized pieces. When I look inside your Greek chicken salad pita pockets, I should see all the fillings that are evenly chopped up in size. We do not want to have someone get a bite of only cucumber or tomato. It should be a bite of all the flavors. For the lemonade, 1. Sugar is completely dissolved. No crystals lay at the bottom of the pitcher. I want to make sure you actually had hot boiling water when you dissolved the sugar. I don't want to see sugar particles floating along the bottom. That tells me you did not take care and you added nothing but cold water to the pitcher. 2. All seeds have been removed and are not found within the pitcher. We want to make sure you took the time to remove all the seeds, and that if we see them floating around in the pitcher, that's not a very lovely thing. It's not just about appearance, it's also a safety issue. Also, someone might accidentally choke on them while they're drinking their lemonade. These are all the standards for your Greek chicken salad pita pockets and lemonade. Let's take a look at my demonstration. When we look at my chicken mixture, we can see that all the chicken looks nice and white, no pink is shown, and when I cut open a piece, it's evenly cooked throughout. You also see a lovely caramelization on both the chicken and the onions, which has a lovely flavor. When I'm mixing up all my vegetables into the sauce, you can tell they're evenly chopped and the sauce looks well blended. And finally, my lemonade has completely dissolved the sugar. No sugar crystals look inside it. When I look at my Greek chicken salad pita pockets, I can tell that all the filling are even in size and that it's well coated in the sauce. The bread is not soggy and it's ready to be served right away. Using a pita pocket instead of bread is a fun way to put a twist on a classic sandwich. I hope you enjoyed our Greek-inspired sandwich today, and as well as learning how to make your own lemonade from scratch. Happy cooking, and thanks for watching.